Architects are making an important contribution to our built environment, our culture, society and economy, and the RIAI is delighted to support and promote the next generation through our award schemes. This video is celebrating their work and recognising their achievements. Our first award is the RIAI Future Award, which is awarded in association with the RIAI journal Architecture Ireland. The Future Award recognises new talent in Irish architecture and acknowledges the wide variety in ways in which architects can contribute to the advancement of architecture. This is an award for emerging architects who have been RIAI registered members for 10 years or less. This year, the jury sought work from individuals who showcased exceptional skill and talent in any of the following areas related to architecture: design, practice, research, writing, public engagement and education. The jury, the editorial board of Architecture Ireland, recognised 5 architects this year and awarded 2 winners. Jane Larmour's entry demonstrated a broad and varied range of projects and interests. A commitment to architectural culture is evident in the multiple methods of practice on display. Working across media and project types, the entrant's high level of professional ambition and technical ability is demonstrated throughout. A particularly strong submission of unambiguous images which clearly represent Thomas O'Brien's aspiration to contribute to the culture of Irish architecture. The architectural language displayed in the selected projects is idiosyncratic yet evolving through its engagement with simple forms and materials in a way that is insightful, inventive and exciting. A submission that illustrates the potential to integrate research and practice in a way that is complementary and reflective in nature. Projects exhibit a depth of intervention appropriate to their scale and brief. An architect with a distinctive voice, displayed in the geometric character of selected projects. A commendable and modest philosophy underpins a considered approach to Irish house design. An entry defined by sharp and sensitive work, underpinned with a commitment to sustainability. Beyond design, the architect demonstrates a notable involvement in education and public engagement. The RIAI is delighted to support the next generation of architects and architectural technologists through our student awards. This year, we had a record number of entries. All award entries are judged anonymously by the juries. Our first award is the RIAI Scott Talon Walker Student Excellence Award. This award fosters architectural excellence among the student body and is open to students of architecture enrolled in their 5th and final year. Students are invited to submit a collage on a single A1 sheet illustrating the work they have completed during their final year. The jury were impressed by the significant depth of thought and consideration applied to the development of the proposal entitled Constructive Assembly, which explored, through the creation of a new Citizens' Assembly Forum in Merrion Square, buildings of democracy as architectural and tectonic symbols of participation and exchange. The entrant demonstrated a clear maturity of thought in addressing both the chosen subject matter and the application of the principal concept through all facets of the scheme, including fundamental construction. Through their submission, An Oscillating Landscape, the jury felt the entrant demonstrated considerable maturity of thought and sensitive approach in their exploration of St Mary's Cathedral, Limerick, and the scheme's development in its surrounding environs. A highly convincing proposal whose layered approach added considerable depth and left members with a fulsome understanding of both the core design intent and the spatial variety within the scheme. The jury found the submission suburban, which sought to transplant elements of suburbia into an urban housing scheme, highly relevant to the current housing challenges faced in Ireland and was innovatively addressed within the developed proposal. The entrant demonstrated an admirable degree of bravery and novel thought in their developed approach. The jury also selected 7 students for exhibition. Jeff Berry, School of Architecture at UCD. Anna Fagan, School of Architecture at UL. Daria Pritsenko, School of Architecture at UCD. Aisling Madden, School of Architecture at Queen's University, Belfast. Jessica Keller, School of Architecture at UL. Ben McQuaid, School of Architecture at TU Dublin. Aisling Mulligan, School of Architecture at UCD. The RIAI Student Award for Sustainable Design recognises the awareness and integration of sustainable design principles by students as an inherent part of their design approach, regardless of scale or complexity. Students were asked to submit a single A1 board with accompanying sustainability statement, illustrating a project which they had completed in that year in which the principles of sustainable design were integrated and evaluated. The award is open to all students who are currently enrolled in programs of architecture or architectural technology. The project, entitled Healthcare Reimagined, Landscape Strategy and Sheltered Housing in Carlow, showed innovative ways to deal with an accommodation problem in a residential context, including the adaptive reuse of existing buildings. The jury commended the process on how to approach a site strategy and site access with appropriate consideration to building forms, and said the project makes good use of outdoor space. All aspects of the brief have been addressed, and a holistic strategy was employed using LEED calculations. The entry also contributes well to biodiversity for dementia patients as building users. The project, Crosses Green Community Centre in Cork, demonstrates an appropriate design solution of a central atrium that brings together people of all ages. External green spaces are also included to provide a break from everyday life. There is a sustainable rainwater strategy with water attenuation use, a positive site strategy, and an appropriate selection of materials including timber glulam construction. The project achieves a good building energy rating for a complex building. The project, Bagnallstown CLT Factory in Carlow, is a proposal to increase biodiversity by revitalising a river walk. The concept-based approach has possible wider industry application. The educational aspect to the brief is demonstrated by displaying the workings of the factory. The project demonstrates understanding of embodied energy. There is a clear presentation and good natural daylight design strategies. The RIAI Rising Star Award in Architectural Technology recognises an individual third-year student of architectural technology who exemplifies academic excellence and dedication to the field of architectural technology in the national context of architectural technologists' education. The recipient shall have demonstrated a quality of performance that would be an indicator that they are likely to continue to develop into a distinguished member of their profession. The students were invited to submit a single A1 board and summary report which illustrated the work they had completed in that year. This is a visually strong presentation. Details were well represented, rationalised, and the report showed a thorough investigation of the regulatory issues. The student showed an excellent understanding of the brief and comprehensively addressed all issues and presented these in a clear and precise manner. The student demonstrated an understanding of how site conditions would impact on the building in terms of solar gains. Overall, a well-rounded presentation. This A1 sheet was well presented. Technical details were well illustrated and the presentation sheet gave a good overview of the project undertaken. There was a good understanding of structural assembly and the student demonstrated good material exploration. The student presented a detailed sustainability analysis utilising a range of parameters. The aim of the Student Writing Prize is to nurture and recognise the importance of writing in architecture. Students are invited to contribute an article of no more than 1,000 words on a theme of their choice, whether a building or a book, an architect or a movement. Both contemporary and historic subject matters will be considered. 2 kilometres by 20 square metres is an energetic and inventive piece of writing. The author displays an adept command of tone and format of the text, employing a stream of consciousness style which bounces off the page. A timely subject matter explored with wit, insight and earnestness. In the intensification and distillation of sensation, my bedroom is transformed. Machine for living. Self-contained, 2 kilometres, 20 square metres or thereabouts. Working from home, like many, I carefully manipulate, shuffle, organise, criticise and outright dismantle my space. There's no mistaking it. Ownership, clear as day. On short-term stays the malaise is manageable, but in the absence of certainty these impunities are magnified, laid bare. You are here. In this essay, the author brings a historical subject to life in discussing a familiar theme of urban displacement through a unique lens. A gentle sense of personal awareness of the neighbourhood in question, Sailortown in Belfast, further elevates an already factually interesting text. Though the writing itself is self-supporting, the addition of selected photographs are a well-considered addition. In the leg and the column, the author makes humorous yet meaningful connections between given examples, identifying key insights and supporting a broader theme. The deconstruction of familiar imagery allows for an accessible and engaging text which retains a seriousness towards the topic at hand. A North Kerry vernacular is a complete and well-written piece on an interesting and perhaps less known topic. The author successfully disseminates a wealth of research in a compact and comprehensive text, demonstrating a clear command of structure and editorial ability throughout. Congratulations from the RIAI to all our award winners and those who received commendations.